Hi, welcome back to Introduction to a Journey. My name is Dawn. I just want to start by thanking all of you who have been watching my videos and sharing them. I'm happy to announce that we have been watched in 54 countries now, so I know that these videos are helping and touching people out there, and I just hope that you will continue to watch them and share them with those that you think could benefit from them. And push that button there that will make you subscribe, so when I put out a new video you will be alerted immediately that something new came out. So thank you again for watching and enjoying these videos. Today I want to talk to you about the ages of 18 to 22. I work with a lot of people of different ages, and one thing that in my own experience as well as people that I know, that 18 to 22 can be some of the hardest years of your life. And I constantly tell my younger people as they're coming into this age that, you know, when you graduate from high school, I just want you to know 18 to 22 are very difficult years. I mean, you're going to have moments of happiness and bliss, but everything that you have ever known in your life is changing. Remember, our body doesn't like change. Our body wants things to remain the same. It's easy when the body can stay in one place because then it doesn't have to consistently adapt. The body is different than the mind and the spirit. The mind and the spirit want to grow. They want to experience and they want to grow in their knowledge and their wisdom. But the body doesn't. The body's going to fight you to stay in the habits that you've always known. And when you think about it, your body has gotten used to a routine that has existed for most of your life. Schooling, at least here in the United States, you start at the age of 4 for preschool. You go through kindergarten through 12th grade, which brings you to around the age of 17, 18. I know in Europe, oftentimes you're finished by the age of 16, but then you go on to college or some type of a trade school. And so you have had this routine where you are sitting in a classroom, you have schedules, and now all of a sudden at the age of 18, whether you go to school or whether you start a job, you go from people telling you what to do, reminding you that things are due, that you need to get this done, you need to study, you need to turn this in. Hey, have you checked this update? We often have parents that are, telling you to check your bank account or, write this person, talk to this person, and then all of a sudden you turn 18 and you are an illegal adult, and it is as though we magically expect you to go out there and make the best choices and just live a great life. And oftentimes 18 and 22-year-olds just feel lost. They often don't want to admit to friends or family that they feel lost because they feel like, I'm an adult, I should be able to do this. And sometimes they look at social media, which is just awful when it comes to us comparing our lives to other people. It's reminding us that ourselves every day that if you are watching social media, people do not put their struggles out on social media. They put their highlight reel. They're showing you teeny tiny seconds of an entire day or an entire vacation. And then we often look at those and think, oh, my life should be that way, or it should be better, or this person's at school and I should be there, or this person already has a great job making good money, why am I not doing that? Years ago, our parents didn't have the ability to take their life and compare it to everyone else around them. Social media didn't exist. They really only had a small circle around them that they were able to compare with. And today we compare ourselves to people all over the world that we've never met, from different cultures, having different experiences. It can also create a false reality for us in many different ways, not just on social media, but in our own personal life. So we often see anxiety and depression show up in the ages of 18 to 22. We start to feel down, anxious. One, we're not in control of what's happening around us. Not that we were always in control when we were in high school, but we often felt a little bit better because we had the same chair, we had a group of people, we kind of knew what to expect. And sometimes we can get into that in college, but professors are different than high school teachers, and they expect you to be more of an adult and more independent and more responsible. And again, in high school, many of your teachers were telling you, hey, guess what? Next week that quiz is due, that paper is due. In high school, a lot of professors just expect you to do it. And so that first year, it can be really a struggle because you have to depend on yourself for the first time, and no one else is really kind of stepping up to help you. If you are not in school, same thing goes for a job. Many of your bosses expect you to act like an adult. You're out here in the grown-up world, so no one's going to remind you that you have to be at work that day. No one's going to call you to make sure that you're coming. And so all of this responsibility kind of piles on you for the first time that, for many of you, you never had to do before, and all of a sudden it's all up to you, and that can really be tough. It can be a struggle. And then we get anxious, and then we kind of start to get down on ourselves that we should be doing better, and will it ever get better? Sometimes we see the world around us and how much everything costs, and it can be scary, and we start to think, I'll never be able to afford to move out on my own. I can barely make it what I'm doing right now just to pay my bills and my phone bill, maybe my car payment or my car insurance. How will I ever afford an apartment, and so forth? And then on top of that, at 18 to 22, many people are searching for the love of their life because they're an adult and they're ready for this. And you're not. 18 to 22 is you're still finding you. 18 to 22 is about learning and growing and finding out how amazing you truly are. That spirit within you is so fabulous, and no one can see that until you see that. No one can see how truly special you are until you realize the gifts that you bring to the table. When you realize what you bring into a relationship, we look to others to define us. Only you can define you. Only you can decide what it is that you want in life, what it is that's valuable to you, what it is that your gifts are that you're going to bring into the world or create that life for yourself. And all of those things combined and compiled can really make being 18 to 22 really tough. And so remember, no matter where you are and no matter what's happening, is that I can guarantee you that the majority of people your age are struggling. That the majority of people your age around the world are soul searching. They're trying to figure things out while adapting to new environments and new settings and new people. So don't be so tough on yourself. Kind of take a step back and realize that this is the time in your life to grow. This is the time in your life to fall in love with you for the first time. You do get a little bit of time on your own to get to do this. And remember that, it's going to get better. I promise you. If you're putting forth the effort, if you are truly working to just find out who you are and put every day, get up and put that next foot forward, before you know it, you're going to look back and think, wow, I really came a long way. I didn't realize how much I was growing and how much things were changing and getting better until now that I look back. Sometimes we have to take a look back a year ago to see how far we've come, and then just really enjoy that progress and pat ourselves on the back that we really have gotten better, that things are changing. Because if we're only here in the here and now, and things are a struggle, sometimes it's hard to see how far we've come. So please take a step back, see how truly far you've come, and how much you've gained over the course of 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. Set goals for yourself, small goals that you can measure week to week to see where you're going. If you are going to college, please, please, please keep a calendar. One of the first things you're going to see about college is nobody's going to tell you when anything's due, and no one's going to remind you, and no one's going to tell you that you have to go to class. All of a sudden you're going to wake up with a week left of school for the semester, and you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I didn't do what I needed to do. There's no way I'm going to be able to pass a test over an entire semester that I haven't studied for. So set those guidelines for yourself, set up study times, find study groups, find fun ways to get the information in, set timers for yourself, give yourself playtime, give yourself that freedom. You need that, but you also need balance and routine, and that's going to be a carryover from when you were in high school. It is that something that your body's going to recognize, and it's actually going to enjoy, because you're giving yourself some structure, which we all need to keep us kind of grounded. When everything's all over the place and it's scattered, that's what can make us really feel anxious. And if you're anxious all the time, that's going to lead to depression, because it feels so out of control. But you really do have so much more control than you think you do. In my previous videos, I've even talked about you have choices, and you get to choose what you think about. You choose where you spend your time every day. Make that effort to set up that routine for yourself. Make that effort to set timers. Make other people help you to be accountable. Ask a good friend that you trust or a family member, hey, can you check in on me once a week? Can you ask me where I am? Because maybe if I have to answer to you, I'll be more apt to follow through with the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. Most of all, remember, you are amazing, you are beautiful, and you are fabulous. And every day that passes, you're going to get stronger and it's going to get easier, I promise you. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to realize, wow, I did that. I really did all of that, all by myself. And so don't be so hard on yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Take time out to appreciate how far you've come. Check with others, uplift each other. Research now shows that one of the fastest ways to feel better is to volunteer, is to give somebody else that time. And when you get done, it also helps you to put your life back in perspective, to realize how far you've come and that maybe things aren't as bad as you thought they were. When we spend every moment thinking about ourselves, we get wrapped up, we overthink, we tend to go negative and think that, catastrophize that everything is bad and I'm terrible and why can't I be like my friend or somebody else? Remember, a lot of people don't share their struggles. They keep them to themselves. We see a high rate of suicide in this generation of hopelessness, but you don't have to be hopeless. You really can get better because there are people that love you and that care, and life gets busy and people aren't always able to check in all the time, but that's why it's so important to check in on each other, to, even if it's just a text, to send some encouraging words and some love. Ask people to do it for you. Reach out. If you're struggling and you don't have a lot of friends, volunteer. Volunteer for a homeless shelter, a food shelter, a food bank, animal shelter. There's so many things out there that can kind of get your mind off of where you are. And you don't have to volunteer every day. People say I don't have time. We can all find a couple of hours and to donate to somebody else. So maybe you're great in social media. Maybe that can be your thing, is where you're going in with friends and just encouraging them and sending out text or sending out messages to people that you care about and uplifting them. If that's what your calling is, then, dive into that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, remember, we don't like change. It's easier to stay where we are. Although we want to change, and we know that, the body doesn't, and it's going to fight you. And so old habits do die hard, but they are changeable. Don't forget that. Second, remember that everyone 18 to 22 has got a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people are struggling. They're starting to question things in their life and choices and even belief systems that they've been taught or have lived with for their whole life. And now all of a sudden, things are coming in that are making them starting to change and question those things. So remember that it's normal to be in that position. Third, volunteer, help someone else, and you'll start to gain some of that good feeling neurotransmitters, the dopamine and that serotonin in your brain that helps you to feel better just by helping somebody else. And ultimately, you know what I'm going to say. You are enough. Love yourself. Love yourself first before you go looking for that soulmate. Because guess what? The beautiful piece is, if you love you, they'll come. And when they get there, they're going to love you too, because we vibrate what we are. And you can't have anything that doesn't match with your vibration. So when they show up, they're going to love you because you love you. So don't forget that. You got this. I believe in you. You got to believe in you. I know you can do this. You take care. Keep going. Set those routines. Set those alarms on your phone. Whatever it is that you need to do to keep yourself going. And you're going to be okay. Thanks for watching. And please share this if you know someone who's struggling. I think they would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.